Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the channel. And this is not a casino. I wish I was at a casino right now, but I'm not. Because today we're doing a Q&A. I'm going to answer some of you guys' most asked questions. There wasn't a lot of questions. I'm going to say about 12 questions, but that's okay. If you guys are new or curious, if you're stumbling upon this in the future and want to know something else that I didn't answer because I didn't get the question, and if you're curious about it, feel free to let me know in the comments down below, and maybe I'll do a future video if there's enough. And if there's enough people wanting to know more, I'll let you guys know anything because I'm an open book. Open. But anyways, I'm gonna get started because one of the top questions that I get a lot is, why are you so handsome? I'm just kidding. The one of the top questions is, which one's your favorite slot? What is your favorite slot is one of my top asked questions. And I know you guys are gonna think it's Dancing Drums, which it is currently Dancing Drums, but I do like pivot back and forward between my favorite slot. But my favorite slot of all times, you're not gonna believe this, you probably have, but a lot of you guys may not even heard of this slot because it doesn't exist anymore. At least not any casinos that I've been to in the past maybe 3 years. A lot of casinos got rid of this. Reno was the last one that had it. Atlantis and Reno was the last one that I played it and I had it, and it was super fun. But it is called it's a slot called Sinbad. That is my favorite slot of all time. I don't know why I love it so much. It's like so fun to play. It's like the most exciting slot. Even if you're losing, you're still happy for some reason. I think it's because it has so many features. Like literally every other spin is a feature. Even though you win like $4, you win like 2 or 3 times your bet, I'm still having fun because I'm getting features and I'm having fun, and there's a lot of things going on. So that's probably why I love it so much, for the reason that there's so many features. Like every other spin you get some kind of feature, which I love. I love features. I get bored of like just spinning the slot. I get bored of that. That's why I fast spin. Most of you guys will probably hate that, but yeah, that's probably why I fast spin, for the reason that like I want to get to the feature fast. Either the bonus, I want to either go broke, or I want to get a bonus fast. So that's why I love Sinbad, and it's still my favorite of all time. So if you guys out there know of a Sinbad that's still active and people or casinos that still use it, please let me know, because I would love to play it. It's literally my favorite slot of all times. The best. All right, on to the next question. Ooh, this one's a good one. What is your biggest jackpot ever? Okay, I'm gonna actually roll a video because I do have footage of it, because obviously you have to take a video of a huge jackpot. So this was about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. I used to gamble really big, and that's one of the reasons why I started this channel. Now, I didn't continue gambling this big because that was irresponsible for me, but I did gamble pretty big the beginning of this channel, and so I did have some footage. Now, this casino that I'm gonna show you guys, like I said, I didn't have a channel at the time, but I was trying to dabble onto it, so I did have I still wanted to record some stuff. Now, this casino at the time, they don't, still to this day, they don't allow recording, and so therefore I don't go to this casino anymore. I am from the 559 area, so I go to Table Mountain, Eagle Mountain, Chick-Chancey. Now, there's one casino that I mentioned in this radius there's one casino that I didn't mention in that radius, and that is Tachi Palace, because that casino, they do not allow recording at all. Like literally, I've gotten told to stop recording the most. Like the second most was Chick-Chancey, but now that they've kind of know my channel, they don't really tell me anymore. They're kind of fine with it. But Tachi, I mean, I haven't gone in a long time, but they might be okay with it now that my channel's grown so much. But they do not allow recording at all. I've DM'd them, and they still tell me, no, do not record here. But anyways, the reason why I'm saying all that is because I was trying to just take a picture of my jackpot, and the attendants were like, no, you can't have your phone out at the slot. I was like, what? At the time, I was like, that's so bizarre. Like, I can't even take a picture of my jackpot, which was so bizarre. But then I was like, you know what? I don't care. Like at that point, I was like, I don't care. I won this much money, and I'm gonna show it to you guys because I don't care. Like, well, not to you guys, but like, I'm gonna keep it as a keepsake. At the time, I was not really like doing a slot channel. This was like I said, this was like 2 years ago, so I wasn't like doing it for the content. I was doing it for myself. I was like, I'm going to record this for myself. I don't care. Like, if you want to ban me after giving me this jackpot, I'm never coming back. I don't care. Ban me after this jackpot. I don't care. So I recorded it. Here's a little snippet of it. Not really anything crazy, but yeah, here it is. $20,500 is what I won in one spot. I was betting $50 a spin at the time, but that's still pretty significant. That's like 40x, 400x my bet. So I'll take it. You know what I mean? That you don't get 400x's very often if you play slots, especially not at $550 spots spins. So that's my biggest jackpot ever, and I'm hoping to beat that soon. Hopefully I could beat that soon. I don't know, probably not, but because I don't bet that high anymore, but who knows, maybe in the future. But yeah, that was my biggest ever jackpot. All right, on to the next question is, why did you start a slot channel? Now, I started a slot channel because I've always loved gambling since I was 18 years old. That was the first time I've ever stepped in a casino. There was a casino near my Table Mountain. If you guys are from the 559 area, you would know that Table Mountain is a 18 plus casino. Most casinos nowadays are 21 plus, but there's only one casino in my area that's 18 plus, and that was Table Mountain. I was in college. I moved into my dorm, I guess it was a dorm. It was just an apartment with college roommates, and I guess some of them had already gone because one of my roommates was older than I was, and he already had gone a few times, and he was also gambling. And so he's like, hey, and I knew of gambling because I grew up gambling. I didn't grow up gambling, but I knew of it because my dad also gambled when he was, he would be like, I'm going to the casino, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. It wasn't something that I've never heard about. I obviously knew of gambling. I've done like small little poker games with my family, nothing serious like quarter games. But so I knew of it. And so my roommates were like, hey, what do you guys want to do today? We're like, I don't know. I'm bored. Well, I'm bored too. And then the one roommate that gambled, he's like, let's go to the casino. It's 30 minutes away. I have a car, and we all can get in. So I was like, all right, cool. Growing up, I've heard of casinos all my life. Never been to one, but I've heard of them all my life from my dad. So I was like, let's go. So we got in the car, we packed up, and we drove to the casino 30 minutes away. And since that fateful day, this was the outcome. Now, I wasn't wealthy by any means, so I took like $40, maybe $50 that day. Lost it. But it was a thrill. I was excited about the thrill. Like, it was just like the environment, the energy, everything was just so, the flashing lights. It was basically just feeding my dopamine. My ADHD was tickling, and I loved it. Since the day I stepped in there, I knew I was hooked. So one day I was like, oh, that's cool. And then the next, a few days later, we're like, well, we're bored again. What should we do? All right, let's go gambling. So we went again, and we went again and again. So it was it did become a problem at first, I would say, that I was going with like money. Obviously, like, I was a college student. I had a part-time job, minimum wage. And at that time, well, I'm not gonna be like at that time, it was like $2. And it wasn't that long ago. I think it was like $10 an hour was minimum wage at the time that I was going when I was in college. And so I wasn't making much money. I think I was making like $500 every 2 weeks because it was part-time. Like I said, it wasn't full-time. So it was like $500 every 2 weeks, and I would take like $100 every paycheck and go gamble it. So it was to me, that was a lot. $100 was a lot to me. Obviously, I do like $100 pulls nowadays. Well, not pulls, but like $100 videos nowadays. Different times. But yeah, it was crazy how I would just go be a degenerate. But yeah, that's how the casino started for me. I just loved it and enjoyed it. And so I just kept going, and eventually my roommate moved away. I moved away. I grew up, I did things and moved on, progressed, and now we're here. But if you want to know the whole full story of my whole career of gambling, I will let you guys know. But that's going to take another full 8 or 9 hour video. But that's where it started. It started naively, just going as an 18-year-old, just trying to pass some time, and then it progressed to this. I mean, I still went every like at least a couple times a month, couple 3 or 4 times a month, maybe every week, which was I guess 3 or 4 times a month. So I still went pretty often, I would say, at the time, because most of my other roommates, they kind of were like, nah, and they don't want to go anymore. They would go like once a month. Now me and my one roommate that were kind of like getting addicted to this, like loving the dopamine, we went once every week, sometimes twice a week. So it was getting pretty bad for us, I would say, for the reason that we're losing because we didn't know what we were doing. We were just gambling. We didn't have no strategy. We didn't know anything. But yeah, now it's this. Now I was like, and I was watching at the time. I was actually consuming slot content. I was consuming Brian Christopher, SD Guy. The Big Jackpot was like a new scene. That I know this is bizarre to hear, but the Big Jackpot was new. I remember the beef between not the beef, I would say, but like when the Big Jackpot joined, because he was like the first slot creator that was like betting the big bucks. Like he was betting like $50 a pull. That was like that was big at that time of that scene. So it was like people were like, whoa, what's going on over here? He was the original Vegas Matt. He was the OG Vegas Matt. I don't know why Vegas Matt just became, well, I think it was because Vegas Matt was more he was showing more of the reality of gambling, whereas the Big Jackpot was just highlighting the big wins. Like, of course, he would live stream, so people that joined the live stream would know, like, well, he's losing now here and there. But on the social media side, he was only showing wins. Every time he got a big win, he would showcase it. So that was the difference between Vegas Matt and the Big Jackpot. Whereas Vegas Matt, he would also showcase the big losses, like losing, a couple thousand in a spin or two. I guess that was the big difference. All right, enough rambling. Let's move on to the next question. Am I married? No, I am not married, but I am not single. I do have children. I have a daughter and a son. Now, I guess the next question after that is, well, how old are you? A lot of people actually mistake me for like 24, 25. I'm actually 29. So I'm still in my 20s. I'm still in my prime, I guess you could say. But yeah, I'm not 21 anymore, unfortunately. I guess I just took really care of myself. That's it. Drink a lot of water and gamble a lot. Gamble a lot. Just kidding. Don't do that. That will make you age. All right, next question is, what is your biggest loss? I guess if you got to showcase your biggest win, you also have to showcase your biggest loss. What was my biggest loss? I'm going to say the biggest loss in a night. Obviously, like overall, I'm down atrociously. I don't want to say. Well, actually, honestly, I have a ballpark number, but even that could be like off by a few thousand. So I'm going to say the biggest loss in a night, which I do remember, because I remember making a video. I remember going back to my room and I'd be like, I'm never gambling again. This was bad. But then again, that was also because I would, the one thing that I'm going to tell you guys, if you guys like to drink, do not mix drinking and gambling. Those two do not mix. Now, if you want to drink before you gamble, well, no, don't do that, because then you're going to gamble. And if you're going to drink after you gamble. Go gamble first, get your fix, and then go drink afterwards, and then do that. I mean, obviously, I'm not your mom, so you can do whatever you want. But personally, my biggest losses came after I drank. So, what was my biggest loss? In a single night, I once lost $12,000. Yeah, and that was a mixture between slots and table games. Very bad. Nothing was going my way. I was chasing losses after losses, going to the ATM, chasing losses, going back to the ATM, chasing losses. And then, yeah, it was like, eventually it became like 5 a.m. and then I was so tired, and I was like, I just got to cut my losses. So went back to the room and just curled up in the ball and fell asleep. Hung over next morning. It was a bad time. So I'm glad I created this channel, because this channel actually keeps me kind of motivated, not motivated, keeps me in line, on the rails, and doesn't let me sway away. I feel like once I get like in that zone, especially when I'm winning, that's when it gets really bad. When I'm winning, it gets really bad, and I get excited. Hey, and then the cocktail waitress comes over. You want a drink? Sure. All right, here you go. All right, perfect. And then, oh yeah, there you go. And then she comes over like 5 minutes later because I tipped her a $5 bill or something. She comes over again. Oh yeah, let's go. I'm winning. Let's go. And then eventually, there's like 7 cocktails that just came through in the past hour, and yeah, that's how the casinos keep business running, getting the cocktail waitress to do basically circles around the slots to keep feeding you the alcohol. So yeah, that was pretty bad, and that was a while ago, so it's been a very long time since I've done that, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for this channel because it has kept me on the rails for the most part. So thank you guys for that, for real. Thank you. I want to give you guys a like for that one. But yeah, that was my biggest loss ever in one night. 12K. It's a lot. Now, did it break my bank? No. I wasn't. I mean, I was upset about the loss. Obviously, that's a lot of money. But did I go hungry? Did my kids go hungry? Did anything? No. Everything was great. It was fine. It was just like a dagger in the heart. All right, let's move on to the next one. What made you start this channel? Well, like I said, I've been consuming gambling content. I am a content creator myself. I've been consuming content, gambling content, and I figured, let's just do it. Why not, you know? So it was tough at first, like I said, because a lot of casinos, in my area at least, I don't live in Vegas, where there's like a gambling content. It's like this is what I do. This is the analogy that I use. When you want to become an actor or do social media, go to LA, you know? LA, dime a dozen. You can look down the street this way and look down the street that way, and you'll see someone filming. You'll see somebody filming over here. So it's like the filming capital if you want to become an actor. Now, with with gambling content creation, you go to Vegas. You go to any casino and there's someone with the camera filming a slot. Now, where I live, that is very, very, very bizarre. You never see someone with a camera filming a slot or themselves, because like I said, I live in California, so it's tribal casinos. These are not like these big casinos that are not ran by the federal government. So we are tribal, and they have a lot of policies. They have game commissions, and they abide by a lot of rules. So it wasn't very like, yeah, come over. Yeah, of course, you're a big content creator. Yeah, come over. Now they have opened up a lot of their policies to that reason, that, you know, it's more accepted now to be a content creator casino. Like, they kind of understand more, but still, there was no one in my area doing it. So I was kind of like a pioneer in my area. I'm not saying in general, but there's not a lot of, I mean, there was a few that were filming, but they had like 6 followers, 10 followers, and they were just simply filming the slot, no commentary, nothing, just like a music over it. So I was like the first ever to actually become a personality to film content creation. So I did get a lot of green lights from these casinos that I go to frequently, and obviously I spent a lot. Like I said, losing $12,000 in a night gets the casino to kind of look at you and be like, hey, you're kind of a high roller. So they kind of know me, so they knew who I was already. And then when I talk to my hosts, because obviously when you spend a lot of money, you get hosts and people that take care of you, and they were like, okay, we'll talk to my superiors, we'll talk whatever. And at the time I didn't have a big following, but I was like, you know what, if I want to take this seriously, I have to start, you know, producing this quality of content and actually take it seriously. So then I did, and I was like, okay, well, let's do it. Let's implement my content creation into this and give it my all. And fortunately, it did pay off. And a lot of casinos that I go to now, they give me the green light. They say you're good to go, which is great. Now, they do not, like I said, I'm not sponsored by any casino. I do not get free money to gamble. This is all personally my money. I do not, I mean, I obviously get free play from the losses that I do, because I do lose. So, and like every casino, they give you free play from your losses. So I do get free play. But besides that, I do not get any other incentives to go and gamble at these casinos. Not yet. Hopefully in the future. Come on. If you're watching, executives at any of these casinos in the 559 area, please sponsor me. Anyways, but yeah, that's pretty much why I decided to start my career, and not career, but like start pursuing the content creation in it. And this is also my retirement, so it better pay off, because this is how I will be retiring, doing content creation, gambling content creation. So keep that in mind, casinos. All right, let's move on to the next question. I apologize if any of you guys asked this. I was writing them down, and then my story went away, and I didn't write the people's names. I was just writing down the question. So I apologize if you guys personally asked this and I'm reading it out and you're like, well, I asked that and you didn't give me a shout out. I truly do want to apologize. I was writing them down on my notes, but I didn't know that they would go away. I thought, because on Snapchat, even if you post a story, like obviously the story goes away, but you can still see like the history of it. You can still see the history with like how many people viewed it, how many comments, how many people reacted to it, or stuff like that, like even after it's gone. And I thought that was the same thing for Instagram, and it wasn't the case. Once the story was gone, I could never access it again. So I didn't write a lot of people's names down, so I apologize. All right, let's move on. Next question is, where did you come up with your strategies? Well, a lot of my strategies I got from just personally spinning slots. Like, I used to do a lot of slot play, and so I would, dabble into like different like strategies that I either saw online, or like people told me like, oh yeah, if you do this, then this happens, and if you do that, then this happens. And then I implemented some of my own, like the generational wealth strategy that I do. It's called the ladder method. A lot of people do that, but I was like, wait a minute, why be a ladder when you can just do a couple? Like, let's say your budget is $100, but the max bet is 50. Why would you want to like risk basically one ladder to try to win? I mean, of course you would occasionally hit that $50 bit and then hit the bonus, because I've done that on like the fourth spin. But I was like, you know what, let's just have some longevity to this video. So I would do 1, 2, 3, or if I was like feeling a little risky or had some extra money, I would do the upper 3. So I would do like let's say, because usually like if it's a 1 cent denomination, the middle button is usually like $2 or $2.50, and then the second one is probably like $5, or like the second last, and then the last one's probably like $10 or like $7.50. So if I'm feeling a little frisky, I'll do like the $2.50 to $5 to $7.50. But if I am feeling a little bit more conservative, I would go to the minimum, which is about $1. I don't really like to go below $1, or actually, you know what? I don't like to go below $2. That's just my personal opinion. But I'm doing, like I'm saying, you can gamble at your budget. I know the minimum bet sometimes is 50 cents. So if you're feeling like that, you go 50 cents. The next one's probably like $1, and then $1.50, and then back down, back up, back down. Oh. Now the strategy here is that you want the bonus to hit on the biggest bet that you're betting. So if you're betting the 50 cent to $1 to $1.50, you want it to hit on the 150. Obviously, it's not going to happen every time, but your median bet is actually 75 cents. No, it's $1.25 is your median bet. So it's like if you were just spinning 125, but you have the option, you have the ability to spin that $2.50 bet. You still have that probability of hitting the bigger bet bonus, which usually pays out a lot more. But And if you do hit the bonus on the min bet, like the lowest bet that you are willing to bet, most of the time you just get your money back, which is still a good thing. That's why every time after a bonus or a big hit, I walk away, because there's always a next slot that's willing to do much more than that. So I would either, for me, I usually like to do like the higher tier. So like I'll start, let's say if it's like a 1 cent denomination, I'll start with a $3 bet, move on to the $5 bet, and then $7.50 or $10 bet. That's usually my the way I gamble. That's usually my thing. So I want the bonus obviously on the $10 bet, but if I get it on the $3 or the $5 bet, I'm still happy, for the reason that I'm gonna probably get my money back at least. I mean, I'm saying that very like loosely, because we've all had that 1 or 2x bonus before, where you just get like nothing. You get the bonus trigger and that's it. But for the most part, you'll at least get your money back. That's if like you went pretty far in. But if you get in like the first like 4 or 5 spins, obviously you're gonna get more than that, and that's when you walk away. That's for me at least. I hit that cash out button. I'm out. I'm on to the next, and then I'll come back if I need to or something. But yeah. But if you hit it on the max bet or the biggest bet that you're willing to wager, that's a plus, because who never knows. You can. I've gone jackpots on this strategy. I've got $100. Obviously, you've seen my videos. From $100, betting like that, I've hit a hand pay before, so it works. I don't know what obviously I'm down overall. I don't know how much, but I'm definitely down overall. Definitely not in the millions. I don't think I've gambled that much, but definitely in the hundreds of thousands, I would say, if I was to guess. That was one of the another questions. How much have you lost overall? I'm going to say over in the hundreds of thousands. I don't know exactly what the number is, because like I said, I've been gambling since I was 18. I'm 29, so that's 11 years. And obviously when I was 18, I was only losing like $60. Just recently, and maybe in the past 4 or 5 years, I've gambled very heavily. But yeah. Anyways, his video has been going on for a very long time. So that was the last question for this Instagram. If you guys have any more questions that you would love for me to answer, please leave them down below. I'm willing to be very transparent with you guys, and let me know if you guys have any questions or any other comments you guys want me to share, or let you guys know any insights. Let me know. I will be glad to do it. I didn't get a lot of comments. Like I said, I'm still kind of new to this scene of gambling. I've only been doing this for 3 months, and my growth has been pretty crazy, and I've been enjoying it a lot. So I feel like in the next year or so, I might be up there with the top dogs, like with the Lady Lucks, the Brian Christophers, and the jackpot people. Not maybe even Vegas Matt. You know what, Vegas Matt? I'm coming for that title. Number 1 right here, guys. I am going to be the number 1 slot channel. I have like 40 years on them. Okay, maybe not all of them, but I have at least like 10 years on them. So, hey. It's your boy. He's next. I'm next up. Let me know down below any comments, any concerns you would love me to share with you guys, and I'll be willing to do that. Thanks for watching. Like I said, you guys have been a great audience. We're going to be sprinkling some of that magic for you guys, and thanks for watching. See you guys in a casino near you. I hope to be in Vegas in the next couple months. Maybe do a group pool. That'll be amazing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace.